All right, continuing on here, we went over the first couple options from this WHIZZER seatbelt position. Now we're going to get into one that's a little less fundamental, I'll say, and maybe a little bit more unorthodox. Especially if you ever watched me wrestle, I didn't really do too many exciting moves, but I did do this once in a big match that helped me qualify for the Olympic trials in 2016. And I'm going to call it a cartwheel here out of this position, but I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's not exactly a cartwheel. That's just the closest thing that I can think of to be calling it, and I think it'll make sense as we go through it here. But again, same position here. Say Tony took a shot, and I pulled him up, and we ended up here. All right, same exact thing. The way that this one works, kind of similar to the previous technique, is it's going to work if I'm struggling to get space. Again, if I can create space here, I'm doing this every time. Nice and easy. I'm getting out front, and I'm going to score from there. Again, the only reason I wouldn't do that is if a 2-point takedown is not going to help me, or if I'm extremely pressed for time, there's less than 10 seconds left, and we have to go for broke, go for a throw or something. But this technique here works, again, really well if he's pressuring into me a lot, or he might just have a really good grip here. Sometimes people get this seatbelt and they just don't let go of this, and I just can't get away for whatever reason. So instead of trying to fight it, instead of trying to, maybe I can't reach that hand again on this one, so I can't throw him to his back, and I can't get separation. So instead, what we're going to do is, essentially, I'm going to unwind myself here and into this cartwheel. So when you think about it right now, I'm tying myself in. He's tying me in with this backhand, and I'm tying myself in with this WHIZZER. So I need to kind of undo that. And the way I need to do that, I need to bring my body down and then back over the top. So I'm going to basically take this arm out, and then I'm going to take the power away from this WHIZZER by basically coming all the way out and then over the top. Now, it won't look exactly like that, but that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm taking away the strength of this, his seatbelt, and I'm also unwinding myself. If I keep this super tight, I'm not going to be able to do it. So for this one in particular, I have to unwind myself and take this, the WHIZZER will come out. So when we're doing this, I know I've been teaching wrestling for jiu-jitsu for a couple years now down in Puerto Rico, and the first time I taught this, one of the things that I saw was people were trying to do more of a forward roll from this position because it feels like that's the most natural thing to do. And what I mean by that is, come a circle a little bit, is people were basically just going straight over their head because they're thinking, I need to unwind myself, so I'm just going to roll. So they were essentially just doing this. But, I mean, obviously in wrestling, that doesn't make much sense to do. In jiu-jitsu, it's probably not the end of the world, but it's not going to get me to the position that I need to be in. So instead of doing that, and why I said this isn't technically a cartwheel, is on a cartwheel, I'm going to try to be essentially upside down and trying to go exactly with my feet straight over my hands and trying to kind of, I don't know, making a straight line as you're going. For this one, I'm going to be kind of leaning over. It's going to be like a sideways cartwheel because I need to keep my weight into him the whole time. If I take my weight off of him, it takes away the effectiveness of this move. So what I mean by that is I have this seatbelt position or a seatbelt WHIZZER position. I'm going to do this cartwheel, but I need to keep my body attached to him that whole time. I need to keep weight on him. Because if at any point I take the weight off, he can just let go. Almost like if you've seen people do like a Granby, the top guy can just let go and then get right back on. So if I were to do a cartwheel and not put any weight on him, if I just kind of come here and he times it correctly, he could just completely let go of me, wait till I fall, and then cover again. So do that. So if I'm here and I take my weight completely off, yeah. So instead, I want to make sure that my weight is continuing to push down and into him. And essentially, I'm going to get, my hips are going to end up sliding down over the top of his head here, and we're going to end up back in that short offensive position. So again, we're fighting here. I can't get separation. So my head's going to go down for a second. And as we go into this, I don't need to take my WHIZZER out. It'll come out as I rotate, but head goes down. I'm going to kick my feet up. I know it's really hard to do this slowly, but I'm going to get my hips on his back. Here, and now, again, right now I'm like a little kind of out of position just because I'm trying to do it slowly, but essentially want my hips to slide over his head. So let me try it a little bit faster because it's hard to kind of explain it here. So I have the WHIZZER. When I go to do this cartwheel, my weight should slide right over top of his head, keeping his head trapped down. As we said earlier, that's important. That's going to make it easier for me to score. Head goes down. coming over the top here, and then immediately getting back to the position we were in before. I can push, pull, snap, come behind. So from this opposite side, again, play around with this. It might take you a few times to kind of get the right feel, but I'm taking away the strength of his position here. If you're recognizing you need this, this actually works really well in freestyle. If you have somebody who's here in this position trying to drive you out of bounds, and like he can get 1 point from pushing me out, but instead I'll take away that energy or all the pushing power that he has there. Again, just misdirecting it, kind of using his own strength against him here for this position. The more he's pushing into me, the better this works. So my head goes down briefly, rotate over the top, slide in position here, and then immediately looking to snap, looking to score from there. So I didn't really mention that before, but anytime I get my hips back out front, I immediately want to put him into motion. I don't want him to have time to be able to start to recover from that position. I want him to be like, oh crap, I lost my seatbelt position. And while he's still feeling sorry about that, we're already putting him into motion, looking to score from there. So one last time. So got the seatbelt and whizzer. He's pressuring in. We got a lot of pressure built up here. Now my head goes down. My hips are going to come over the top here. Immediately pull and looking to score. The more that you're able to put those moves together and chain the cartwheel or even the move you were doing before, as soon as I get out front, immediately snapping and pulling, it's going to make it easier for us to score. So this one's kind of a fun one. It looks cool if you hit it live on people, but it definitely works, and you see it a lot at the European or international level. But I don't know, just another good option to have here if we're really struggling to get that hip separation.